So in the last class we had taken example student. So for each and every student we want to insert student ID, student name and combination. So if the memory allocation would be like this, S1, S2, S3, under same memory location I want to store different type of data. SID is an integer type, SName and combination are character array. So what would be the declaration syntax here? So what is the data type of S1, S2 and S3? See here S1, S2, S3 are same kind of variables. So what is the data type? By seeing the content which is present in each variable, can we guess the data type? Is there any basic data type? Because every memory has to take heterogeneous data element. That is, for student ID, I want to insert integer. Student name and combination, I have to insert character array. I have to insert a string. So is there any basic data type? No, there is no basic data type. That's what I have written a question mark here. So what is the requirement here? We have to create our own data type. By seeing the requirement, one has to create their own data type. See, in C++, we have a keyword called struct. We already discussed in the last year. Still I glance these concepts. Struct student. I consider the data type name is student. Name of the data type is left to user, but you have to follow the rules for naming identifier. In this example, I have taken the names. Data type name is student. So what are the things I have to store in each memory locations? Student ID. Student ID is integer type. And student name. Student name character array. Then combination. Combination is also character array. So this is the way to create our own data type using structure. Once you create data type, now you can create a variables of that structure type, of the data type. So this is the way to create a variable. Student, the data type, just now we have created, we know the data type now. The student is the data type, S1, S2, S3 are the variables. S1, S2, S3 represent the students, 3 students. Actually, I have to write this memory allocation after this statement. To make you understand easily, first I had written the memory allocation. Then we can decide the type of data type, isn't it? Whenever you write the declaration statement, memory gets allocated. After allocation of memory, we have to access the members of these variables, isn't it? Student ID, student name and combination. So what you need to observe here, whenever you declare a variables S1, S2, S3 and these 3 variables are which type? Student type, isn't it? Then what is the nature of student data type? That is determined by this template. So this data type, the student data type, it supports 1 integer and 2 strings. Okay. Now we have to insert values for each and every student. Very first I want to input a values for student 1. Enter student ID, student name and combination. How to access? This is called accessing a members of structure. See, for each and every student, I have to store data, isn't it? So, SID, that is called SID, SName and combination. This is called a member of structure. This is common for all objects, for all students. To which student you want to insert data, you have to use that variable S1.SID, S1.SName, S1.combination. At this moment, I want to insert the data about student 1, first student. That's why I take S1.StudentID. This is the rule how to access members of a structure. Structure variable name dot member name, structure member name. And for the next student, same. Enter name, student ID, student name and combination of a student 2. Here S2.SID, S2.SName and S2.combination. Now I want to read third student details. So S3 again enter the details S3.SID, S3.SName, S3.combination. Isn't it? From here to here what we understood here, how to create our own data type using structure and how to create a memory for that data type. How to create a memory for these variables, student S1, S2, S3 and how to access the members of a structure. Let us write the syntax. how creating a data type using structure. See, let us compare here. Compare with the example. Struct is a keyword, so I will write a struct. Student is a structure name, so in the syntax I have to write structure name. Open flower bracket. Here data type, variables, as many data type you according to the requirements you can take the different data type here. In general I have written data type 1 variable, data type 2 variable, and so on. So this is the way to generalize that. Now the syntax to create a variable of this structure type. How did we create a variable here? Structure name space variable list, isn't it? These variables are separated with the comma operator. In general, how to write? Structure name variable list semicolon. Now accessing members of structure. How to access members of structure? See here. Where we accessed a member here. S1 is a structure variable and SID is the member of the structure. S1.SID, isn't it? Like that. Structure variable name. S1 is the structure variable, isn't it? S1 is the structure variable. Dot SID. SID is a member of the structure, isn't it? Dot member name. This is the way to generalize this concept. I hope you understood these concepts. Let us consider class. Class is also a keyword. It is used to create our own data type, like a structure. So there are two more facilities in class, but these facilities are not there in structure. What are those facilities? Access specifier and member functions. Okay. Now let us write the general syntax to create our own data type using class. It is almost similar to structure, but a very minute difference. See here, instead of writing, here, struct structure name we have written here. Here class name, open flower bracket. As I told you, there are two more features in class, that is access specifier and member function. At this moment, you need to remember a class having three access specifiers: private, public, private, protected, and public. And each and every section, to make you understand easily, I'll tell these are the sections: private section, protected, and public section. In every section, you can declare data member and member function. Another thing is member function, isn't it? See here, one more thing you have to observe here. In structure definition, if you consider structure, within the structure definition, what we have taken only variables. These are all called members of structure. The members of structure is nothing but only the data members of a structure. See, these are all data members, isn't it? These are all represents three different students, each and every student having these many data members. So it is only possible to define only data members in the structure definition. Whereas in class, we can take some functions also. Along with the variable declarations, we can take functions. That in all sections we can take. At this moment, you have to remember this rule. How to create a class, how to create our own data type using class. Class name, private, protected, public, these are all access specifiers. In each section, you can take both variables and variable declaration and functions. Let us take the same example. Let us convert the same example to class. Class name, student, isn't it? See, in private section, usually data, what are the data, what we are going to store in a variables are declared in a private section. We have to give security for data. Data should not be accessed through all functions. We have to restrict the data. Only some functions have to access this data, not all the functions in the program. Are you understanding? This is the very key point in the class. See here, SID, name and combination. These are the data of each and every student. We have to give security for these data elements. This data element should not access throughout the program. It has to access only through the functions, certain functions. So by this, by using these access specifier, we can restrict the data so that it cannot move freely around the system. See here, int SID, char is what we had taken in the structure definition. The same data members I have taken here. I have taken in the private section. Usually we use the private and public access specifier in the examples. See, after considering data elements or after declaring this, what is the next operation? Either you are going to input a data or you are fetching the data from the variables in order to display, isn't it? So let us consider two operations here. One operation is we have to input data, isn't it? For each and every student, I have to input data, student ID, student name and combination. To perform this operation, I'll take a function called input function. The purpose of this function is to get the value from the keyboard and store in a particular object, isn't it? And one more is display function. I'm going to display the content on the screen. To display on the screen, we have taken function called display. Here there is a clarity. What's happening here? Each and every student having these many features, and for every student I have to store values. In order to store values, we have a function called input function. Its job is to get the data from keyboard and store in a particular student. And one more function display. If you want to display the data of any student, you can call this function, and this function display the content of the student. So this is the way to define a class. So what is the main difference between class and structure? In structure, we have only variables, not functions. There is no functions we'll take inside the student. But in the class, we can take a functions and we can restrict the data. Only these functions, the functions which belongs to class, can access the private data of the class. Whereas in structure, there is no function. We can't make a function as a member of a structure. So it can be accessed through the main function also. See, we have accessed the variable. These are the data, no? Student ID, student name, combination. These are the data of every student. And this data is directly accessed from the main function. Main is not a member of a student. Any function can access the data. But in class, we had taken two functions. Only these two functions can access a private data. Now how to access? In the main function, how we had declared variables for structure? The same way. Student is the data type which is created using class. Here I take two students, S1, S2. Whenever you create variables, there would be a memory allocation for S1 and also S2. For S1 also there is a memory and S2 also memory. Okay. Then what are the variables? What are the data elements of S1 and S2? SID, SName and combination. Isn't it? SID, SName and combination. Here also SID, SName and combination. There would be a memory allocation for these elements, these objects. Now I'll call it as object. And in the class we have two functions also, no? For these two functions there is a memory. One is input function, another one is display function. So we need to observe here. Whenever you create variables of student is a data type which is created using class keyword. Now we call it as these two, S1 and S2 are objects. You could have asked the question, see here also we have created we have created a data type using structure and we had declared variables S1, S2, S3 of student type, but we won't call them as an object. Why? What is the difference? See here. When you consider real-time example, real-world example, that is a student having some features like what I have taken, student ID, name and combination. And by taking only variables, there is no use. We have to perform some operation, isn't it? We have to read the elements and we have to display or we can update. To perform these operations, there are separate functions here. So it is almost very closer to real-world problems solution approach. That's why we call it as S1, S2 are the objects. Each and every object having the data members. On this data members, we can perform operations using these functions. Okay. If you want to get data for S1, you have to call input function. S1 has to call input function. That's what we had written here. S1 dot input. and after that s2 dot input. The purpose of input function is to get the data from the keyboard. So to which object you want to input, from that object you have to call the function. Next thing is I want to display the value of s1. So s1 dot disp, s2 dot disp. After that get ch and close. So here what you need to observe, what are the members means in structure. Members are nothing but only the variables, isn't it, here. Whereas in class, members means both functions and also variables. So their variables are called data members and functions are called member functions. In the next class, I'll write the general syntax to access the members of a class and how to create an object. That's already we had discussed here. Again, I'll write the syntax and all. Thank you.